This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 632 for December 2nd, 2019. The Forest of 1,000 Corpses.
Get on my snipula.
I planted all these seeds individually.
Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston, and joining me as always is Moonpier.
Hello.
And the Nimp.
Hello.
Patreon.com/E1M on the ones are numbers. $5 a month is the recommended tier. You get all the cool stuff. Brand new episode of Old Dog New Flicks is out now. That came out a couple of days ago. Since we had another 18-week month that just came out sort of on a really weird day, but that's out now.
Hey, look at the bright side. If things were shifted one day to the left or the right, depending on how you're looking at the calendar, today would be the 2nd, and you would have had to record Pup yesterday. That's
right. That would have been a lot. I had 2 weekends off. It was great.
So yeah. I'm thankful for this weekend breakdown the way it happened.
Yeah.
As a random shout out as well, happy birthday Musum yesterday.
Yes.
2 days ago, if you're listening to this on the feed, I believe.
Yes.
Yes. Happy birthday, friend of the show, Musum. Hope you got some good bead oil, because you need it.
Wow.
Happy birthday / call out. All right, let's dive into what you've been playing this past week. Moonpier.
Okay, going to do a quick rundown of the usuals. Apex Legends, Dead by Friday. Still enjoy them as much as ever. Moonpier on Xbox, hit me up. Let's play. Let's have some fun. Let's shoot some fools / stab some fools / run away from some fools. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do all of that stuff while playing video games together. It's always fun. If you're down for Rainbow Six Siege, hit up my wife. She is insane, and she plays way too much of that game.
A burgeoning Rainbow Six Siege professional.
Yes. / obsessed with cosmetics.
Well, aren't we all?
Yeah, we unfortunately are. Other than the usual two, let's talk about some because now's the time of the year to start playing new games. So I figured I would start Lonely Mountains Downhill.
I feel you, man.
There you go.
Honestly, it was mostly just a case of I have a bunch of Game Pass games installed, and I wanted to at least play some of them and see what they're like.
And a little palate cleanser. Yeah,
and Lonely Mountains Downhill actually works because it's an isometric top-down downhill mountain biking game.
Okay.
With a really cute chibi kind of art style, where literally your only task is to go from the top of the mountain to the bottom of the mountain. And you just ride your bike down, you listen to some chill music, you do some turns.
Yeah.
You go through some checkpoints, you go off a cliff, and you fall to your death. There is,
all the usual stuff.
All the usual stuff.
When did 2019 become the year of mountain biking?
I don't know. I literally only installed this because of a different Game Pass game, which got me really into downhill mountain biking.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd give it a go, and you know what? It's actually not bad. It's a very calm, chilled out kind of game. I'm enjoying what little I've played of it so far. I've only put about 2-3 hours into it so far, but it's been a very nice, I don't know what I want to play. I'm just going to jump in and do a couple of these runs. It feels very trials-ish in the fact that it starts giving you different challenges. Where it's okay, now go downhill in 2 minutes. Do it with less than 15 faults. Do this, do that. But as you're going, it unlocks different trails, different ways down the mountain, different challenges and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to play a little bit more of that. Not a lot, because I've got too much stuff to focus on right now.
Well, it feels like it sits in that good spot that a lot of roguelikes do, where it's like, I have like a half an hour and I just want to play something. Let me do a run or two.
Yes, it is the quintessential one more run game because it tallies the time you take based on time from checkpoint to checkpoint, not time actually spent on the mountain. So if you make it through like checkpoint 1, it'll be like, oh, you made it here in 25 seconds, and it'll say plus or minus your best time on the side of it.
Right.
And then you can then make it to the next checkpoint, and like let's say it's 25 seconds, then you spend 3 minutes doing the next checkpoint, but it's on like the final run before you actually hit it was only 10 seconds. Then it only adds another 10 seconds onto your time, not the 3 minutes.
Gotcha. So you get all your splits.
Yeah, so it really lets you like fine tune the path that you're going down, which is the most efficient, so on and so forth. And it's like, oh no, this
is trouble.
Could be a problem, especially considering I'm already looking for alternate paths. Like if I don't go on the path here and go up the side of this little rocky trail, I can spin around and do a huge jump off it and then get a bunch of speed and stuff. It's like, oh no.
Boy. So it turns in a split second at that point, where it's like, if you just go through the trees in the perfect line, you cut 30 seconds off.
Pro tip for split second players: tap to turn. Do not do the full on steer. Just do a little tap. Little tappy tap. Little tappy tap will get you around the corners faster than just a proper turn would.
Yeah.
So yes, Lonely Mountain's downhill. It's lonely. It's a mountain, and you go downhill. It's actually kind of fun.
I've been seeing that on Game Pass, and I think I need to scoop it up.
It's cute as hell. Like, it's got that stupid Fox game that we're all waiting to come out. Like, it's got that
Tunic?
kind of look to it. Yes. It's got that isometric, like, blocky, like, art style to it, which is really, really cool. But, it's fun. It stopped me from doing the other things I was doing this week, which was playing Pokemon Shield.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is going to be a game I probably play over the next 2 years because I'm playing it using my wife's Switch.
I put no time into this game this week, and I feel like that's okay, because like 1 week I'll put 4 hours in, and then I'll take like 2 weeks off.
So this is a Pokemon game. 100% a Pokemon game based on my previous relationship with Pokemon games, which when it gave me the diamond and it just decided it wanted to break up with me and evolve into a new game, I was like, okay, I'm done. You put a ring on it and you didn't stay with me, so that's fine. I'm going to take a break from Pokemon for a while. But it feels like a Pokemon game. Like, it's got the same start, it's got the same kind of intro, you get your 3 starter Pokemon. It's got all of the shiny gubbins going on from all of the newer games. It's just like, I'm just going to smile and nod at most of this. I'm just going to run around throwing Pokeballs at everybody.
How do you feel about the Pokemon appearing in the world so they're not really random encounters anymore?
I like it. I like it a lot.
I do too.
You do still get random encounters when you see the bush and the exclamation mark comes up.
Yeah, if you're really cooking it.
Yeah, that's a proper random encounter because you don't know what's shaking the bush there. But being able to see all the other Pokemon, I'm fine with that. I'm assuming...
I like being able to say, oh, I don't have that one yet. I'm just going to go run over and get that one.
Yeah. For me, it was, I want 3 duplicates of this so I can check out what this surprise trading is all about. So I can just give whoever my worthless gubbins and then see what I get in return.
I sent a surprise trade because I was like, I'm just gonna see what it is. I sent off like the owl you get at the beginning, like just a nobody, and someone about a week later sent me back an Eevee. And I was like, okay, cool, thank you, that worked.
Yep,
I'll take it.
The problem I can see with this game is I know it has the mating thing that I think it was Diamond and
yeah, like the egg hatching thing.
Yes, which is problematic, but it's also a way to get some of the Pokemon that are really rare. Like, this is how bad I used to be with Pokemon games. So when I was a kid, my sister and me, we were the ones who bought the 2 games. So I would buy one, she would buy the other. We would frequently argue over who got which version.
Sure.
As you do with a relative. And then what we would do is one of us, usually me, at the start of the game would start the game 5 times.
Yeah. You get all the starters for both of you.
Exactly. So you start the game.
Aha.
The second you could trade, you trade it to them. They have that starter. Then you do it again. The second you could trade, you give them the same starter again. And then you do that for 3 Pokemon for you and 3 for them.
Gotcha.
So you have
Okay.
all of the starters at the beginning. I'm not crazy now. Well,
No.
I'm crazy in a different way now.
Right.
So I'm less caring about this. But also, thanks to the wonders of the egg hatching and stuff, and as long as Ditto is in the game, then I know that eventually, if I so choose, I can go and get those starters whenever I want. Because all you need to do
Sure.
is give your starter Pokemon and a Ditto to the breeding center. Ditto by default, as far as it used to be, don't know if it's changed, but Ditto used to only produce an egg of the Pokemon that it was mating with. So you could very
Gotcha.
easily get all of the starters by doing it that way instead.
Okay.
I'm not doing that this time. This time I'm just loading it up. I'm just running around the world.
You're just having fun. You're not playing professionally.
Yes, exactly. I'm not interested in filling out my Pokedex. I don't have 7,000 hours to do so.
Not raising up your IVs or EVs or any of that.
No. I'm literally just playing it for the sake of playing it to see the evolution of the game. Sorry, that was really bad and I didn't even mean that.
That's pretty good.
I just want to see what it's like. In 2019/2020/2021, I just want to see what this Pokemon game is like.
I'm just here to have fun.
Yeah, and so far I'm enjoying it. I am amazed by how many Britishisms they've thrown in there.
Yeah.
So many. Like,
Yep.
when the champion says he wants to make you a champion, like, make you champion good at something at the start of the game, it's like, I wonder how many people realize that champion is Britishisms for really good. It's like,
right.
Or are they just assuming that he is saying champion because he's the champion?
Right.
It's like the Flash new phone. It's just like, really? All of the Britishisms? Every single one of them?
Everything British?
I am shocked by how much of that they're throwing in there, but I also kind of like it too, because it's just throw in as many weird slang terms as you want. Make people Google this stuff. That's fine by me, because I understand it all without having the translator. It's shocking how much it's evolved and not evolved at the same time.
Yeah, it's like a warm blanket with the quality of life changes.
Yes, it's a weighted blanket instead of just a blankie.
You got it. There it is.
See?
I like it.
See?
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying it. I have my Magikarp already. I'm leveling him up by leaving him in my party because Gyarados was an OG baller, and I gotta see if he has changed. I keep wanting to say evolved. I keep wanting to say the word evolved. I hate you, Pokemon. It's Pokemon Shield. It's a fun game.
It's good.
I'm pretty sure I've already bumped into the legendary Pokemon at the start of the game, based on walking into the forest.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure that's I think it's on the... I have it digitally, but I think that's the one on the cover.
Yeah, the one on the cover is just a giant orange shield. I think we have it digitally too. And I think it's just an orange/red shield.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure that's the legendary based on the fact that it had question marks, it was in mist, and then it ran away. It's like, yeah, that reminds me of the legendary dogs from whatever game they were from, when they would just ran. You had to find one of the legendary dogs in a random encounter.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. I ain't going down that rabbit hole again. Thanks very much, folks.
I'm free. You're never getting me back.
I don't know what's going on with Gigamax or Dynamax or whatever that stuff is, but all I know is there's a big red light and 4 of us go and attack this random Pokemon, and then at the end I throw a beach ball at him and catch him.
Yep, the animation of throwing the giant Pokeballs is really good.
Yeah, it really is. The animation in general is good. Like,
yeah, it is.
Like, go to hell, internet complainers. Like, I don't care.
It looks really good. It has a great art style. Like, it runs really well. Obviously, it doesn't have like 4x AA or anything because the Switch can't handle that. So you've got some jaggies every once in a while, but who cares? It's a fun Pokemon game on the Switch. Shut up.
Yeah. I got my Pokeballs. I want to throw them at the Pokemon, and then the Pokemon come and live in slavery. I mean, squalor. I mean, in complete comfort
box.
Inside of the bowl. And then they get to get thrown away just so I can make a surprise trade. Thanks, Growlers. Yep. I caught 4 of you.
There you go.
It's Pokemon. It's the same old, same old. Like I said, I'll play this over 2 years. You'll probably hear from me when I eventually beat the leader of all the gyms. I literally just got to the point where I'm at the first town with the gym challenge. That's as far as I've progressed right now.
Yep.
Which is the big Steam like powered city. Which really, Japan? Is that what you think of England? That we're still powered by Steam? I mean, come on.
You have oil powered street lamps.
Yeah. Don't forget, you got to get the person to go around and snuff them all out at the end of the morning with the little thing. Stupid anti-British people. Yes, Pokemon Shield. I played Gears 5. I'm slowly ticking away at the story at that because I played probably about 2.5 hours of that this week. I'm still interested. I'm still enjoying it. I'm back on my thing that I brought over from the thing to avoid spoilers.
Yes. I got it.
I'm at that point. So I'm enjoying the story in that game so far. Genuinely love the writing in this game. It feels like they've stepped up quite a fair few notches. Like I thought 4 was well written, but not perfect. This feels like it might be one of the best Gears like stories that I've played in a long time.
And now you got 4 people on the thing, and that the conversation between 4 people and Jack is surprisingly pretty. I thought it would be a little overwhelming after it just being kind of a the conversations in Act 2 were really good because it was just Kate and Del, and I was worried that if there were 4 people there in Act 3, then it'd just be too much. I mean, nonstop talking, but it's pretty good.
And I'm also looking forward to more of the story getting fleshed out now that we have different sides and different opinions and different looks at the situations. So I'm looking forward to that. But the problem with Gears 5 is it's not Death Stranding.
You are correct. It is not.
Which literally sucked my entire week away this week, with the exception of Thanksgiving and theft of all of my monies.
Yep.
With the exception of all that stuff, literally all I've done this week is play Death Stranding.
And hoofing it across America and delivering some parcels.
So here is how I feel about Death Stranding.
Okay.
I don't know.
Here's how I feel after finishing Death Stranding. I don't know.
Well,
it's going to be one of the hardest games in the top 10 list this year.
Yeah, sounds like something I'm going to enjoy when I eventually pick it up.
Dude,
yeah.
100%. I think we talked about this a while ago, but like Tunnelman tweeted about how like people talked about how Death Stranding is just Postman Simulator and to try out Elite Dangerous.
Yeah.
This game gives me Elite Dangerous vibes because it's literally picking up a package, going to a different point, dropping off that package, skipping all of the bajillions of cutscenes, because why do they have to have the same cutscene every 4 seconds? Thank you,
keep on keeping on,
for pointing that out while I was streaming, that I can skip those things.
Yeah, because the guy who hasn't played the game is giving Moonpeer pro tips on how to play the game.
Yeah, like every time you pick up new parcels and Sam is like, like picking up, it's skip. I'm going to skip someone saying, "Oh, welcome back, Sam. Nice to see you. What do you have? This package looks like it's in perfect condition." It's like, shut up. XXXXXX.
I didn't know.
Get me to the star. Tell me how I did.
And I'm really, really bad with the PlayStation controller because for now I have been using the DualShock 4 with this game. I don't like the options in the share button location are god awful.
Took me a while to
the middle.
Get those in my brain. Yeah, but you have the big button there.
Yeah, you have the big button, which in this game is used for put your finger on it, and then you can wibble the controller, and the map wibbles. It's like, great.
Well, and you mash it to like stuff, which is the most fun thing I've done in video games in a while.
Stuff. But that's a button press that you can have on any button on the controller.
Yep. Well, and for most PS4 games, too, you hit that button and it opens the map. So every time I hit it, and then Sam goes, "Hey, I'm Sam!" And it's like, oh my god, I just wanted to open the map. Shut up.
The amount of times
my favorite is when you say, "Hey, I'm Sam," and someone goes, "Hey, I'm Sam, too." It's like, stop, shut up. There are ghosts around.
Yep. The amount of times I shouted something when trying to go to the map screen, not because I was confusing the buttons, but because I can't press the options button without looking, because it's in the weirdest, most awkward place ever.
It's not. It's like a half an inch away from where the button is on the Xbox One controller.
It needs the touchpad needs to be smaller, and those things need to be left and right, respectively. Like closer to the middle, please, or just stick them underneath the touchpad. That's fine too.
Bad news to tell you about the PS5's controller.
Yeah, it's probably the exact same thing. That's fine.
I think they just need to also make them a little bit bigger too, because the D-pad and the buttons, the face on top of the controller, the options and share button is on that little curve, and we're in the middle of the controller, it dips down, so it doesn't feel like you're actually hitting them. It feels like you're just tapping the actual controller.
Right,
so
that's true.
It's kind of weird.
It's really well manufactured, because you can run your finger across that and you barely feel the seam. But that becomes a problem when you're trying to find it without looking, so you can press it so you can skip one of those stupid cutscenes.
It becomes a problem when you're not used to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But gripes aside, stupid controller, stupid skip button, stupid. Why not just have an option in the menu that says, "Don't ever show me any cutscene that's not 100% original, please."
Right, like I'm on the path to platinum now, so I have to deliver, by my estimations, probably about 100 more deliveries, and I would desperately love for that option, just for like. I'm more than happy to keep on keeping on for the rest of the next 30 hours. Keep on keeping on, but like I really don't want to visit the film director or the junk delivery guy for the 30th time and have him just be a total D to me for no reason. And nobody in this game says thank you, Sam, for delivering me 600 kilograms of materials that I needed. Across mule-infested territories. You're welcome, everyone. That doesn't go outside anymore. You jerks.
So, out of curiosity, do you walk everywhere?
Yes.
Because I spent probably the majority of the start / first half / however far I am through it of Chapter 3 on my bike, just driving over mountains. Like I wasn't walking anywhere. I was just like, I've got a bike now, so I'm just going to use it because it allows me to carry more, and it puts stuff in the back, and the auto pavers are doing their business. So I've got a highway which goes quite nicely from this point all the way to the far southern point, and when the highway stopped, I stopped and then built the rest of the highway because I was no way walking up that mountain to get to the Elder ever again.
Yeah, well, and that's the cool part about Death Stranding is you are going to have way more road than I did because I played it. I started that area a couple days after the game was out, and the game's been out for 3 or 4 weeks or something like that now. So I'm going into these areas, and I'm completing a zipline network, so I'm moving from top to bottom in the central area in probably about 7 to 10 minutes. On zip lines, or I can drive a truck that someone has left out there or build something. I just kind of like walking in this game, but every time I hop on a bike that someone has left me, it's the unlockable Ride with Norman Reedus bike that has that logo on the side and the AMC logo on the other side, and every time I hop onto it, Norman Reedus goes, "Hell yeah, this bike should be on a Ride with Norman Reedus. F yeah." And it's just like, for real? Shut up.
Gee, I wonder why they left you the bike.
Right. Like no one's watching your show, Norman Reedus. I don't want to hear about it every time I poop, number one, and then every time I hop on this stupid bike. But yes,
every
that's
time I 100%. Get in the
shower. Yes. Stupid.
Like, the stupid thing is right there on the glass.
I love this game. I love this game.
I don't know.
I love playing this game, and I like probably about 50% of the story, which I think for me is a lot less than I typically do for a lot of Kojima's games. Mm-hmm. And I think for me that's kind of a bummer, because I just wish they would have gotten you out of the hinterlands faster. I wish they would have gotten you to that first upgrade from the engineer way faster, because
it's vital knowledge. Like right there, that is vital that you get there to get to that dude, to get that thing. Because as much as I hate to describe it this way, that first area is a chore.
Yeah, like your first couple deliveries, it's like, cool, I can't walk in a straight line without falling over. And
it's Drunk Baby Simulator. Like, it's literally Drunk Baby Simulator. And, like, it's so difficult.
And as much as I love Death Stranding, and I love the delivery, and I love the walking, that stuff's no fun. Like, I was having a conversation with T-Bomb Rocks in the community this week, and he was saying that you and I talking about Death Stranding in last week's episode was pushing him to get back into it. And I said, you really should, but get to Act 3, get to Chapter 3, get to that first upgrade. If you don't like it by this point, like, do some deliveries after that, after the delivery, the way you deliver and the amount of stuff you carry gets so much easier immediately, like as soon as you equip that thing. If you still don't like it after a couple of deliveries, you're probably not going to like it, but that's the part where the systems of the game get so much easier.
Yeah. And this is the thing with Kojima, is I cannot tell if he is insane or a genius.
Sure.
Because there is so much about this game that I love, and I hate marketing spiel and marketing hype. Like, I absolutely despise it. But there's certain things that this game does which are like French kisses of game development, which is when you start that first area and you are, it essentially kind of locks you off from everybody else. Even when you're quote unquote on the chiral network, it kind of still locks you off from all of the rest of that network. Because you don't see the evolution in that area that you see in the central area. Like, stuff like the path that you walk, then if multiple people walk the same path, which they can tell because they will see your footprints like reflected in their world.
They'll see your name,
and then the more people walk that path, the more it turns into a path, and then that path becomes a kind of like a little mini road where it's like, here is a dirt path through these mountains where the rocks and stuff have faded to the sides and give you an easier walking thing.
Because now it's like a pavable road.
It's just like, okay.
Well, and there's really cool stuff, like every time you go to connect a prepper, you have to get to their location for the first time, and the majority of the preppers in the game, the first delivery you get to them will at least get them on the chiral network, if not connected as a member of the UCA. And at that point, you see everyone's structures and their signs and all that stuff, but you have to make it there the hard way the first time. And then as soon as you connect it, it's like, oh, cool. Because I'm coming here a little bit later, someone just built a zip line network all the way back down this mountain. So this thing that took me 45 minutes to crawl up now takes me a minute to get back down. This game is awesome.
Yeah, it's like, oh, look at this giant crevasse that you've got to go around. I didn't go around it. I just straight up built a bridge. I was like, hey, you go away. I don't care. I'm building a bridge over this gap.
Pull out a PCC and build it,
So because I ain't walking all the way around when I can just as easily do the 10-yard jog back to where I came from to get the materials to build this bridge.
Yep.
Then I build the bridge. I go over the bridge. I go and get to my next point. Everything gets connected, and then I turn around and look at the exact same place I've come from, and there's like 9 bridges along this crevasse. And so it's like, okay, everybody apparently had the same idea that I had to just build a bridge right there and make do. So,
and now you have a bridge to get a bunch of likes.
Yes, and I hope it does. There's something I have made which I think was a good decision. I think it was a generator. I think it was a generator right by the junk dealer.
Yes. Oh man, if I run into a generator by the junk dealer, I would have liked the hell out of that.
Someone posted a generator request. I didn't see that. I actually built it behind this mountain, and then as I went over the mountain, there was a generator request flag right there. I was like,
"Oh, jeez,
other side of the mountain, mate, right there."
Yeah, sorry,
it's like 2 yards away. You can make it. That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like,
you did have a question you wanted to talk about pre-show, but we saved it for here. What was your question about one of the points?
Specifically, it's the delivery time one, which...
Oh, God.
It seems like that XP bar only goes up when you take on timed deliveries.
That's correct. So
I hate timed deliveries.
So there are difficulty levels in this game that don't matter. My recommendation, play the game on very easy until you finish it. Because the only thing it affects is the amount of health that enemies have, and on very easy they have virtually none, and you can just kind of motor your way right through. When you finish the game, you want to switch the difficulty to hard. I think hard is the hardest difficulty, because it will unlock an additional rating scale for deliveries. Basically, right now you can just do awesome, which I always call sauceum because it's the letter S and it's awesome. You can then get Legend of Legends on...
Okay, because I was curious how you get Legend of Legends, because I've been playing it on normal, so I've only been getting Legend for the premium deliveries.
Yes. Yeah, so premium deliveries, you can get Legend of Legend on not only your overall thing, but each individual category. At that point, that's when you want to do your timed deliveries, because you'll have built out a zipline network already. So a timed delivery, it'll say like, oh, you have 35 minutes to do it. You can be delivering that stuff in 2.5 minutes. So like, you don't have to fight ghosts, you don't have to fight rain. You're just sort of literally zipping over around the corner, delivering it, and then taking one of those and sort of bringing it right back the same way.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. But by the time you finish the game and it dumps you back out in the world, you'll have all your upgrades, you'll have all the stuff. You can put it on hard and like avoid all fighting at that point, and then you'll be good.
Honestly, that's kind of what I've been doing anyway. Like, I may or may not have just like sprinted through several BT areas because I just didn't want to deal with them. So I was just like,
as long as you don't directly run into them, yeah.
Like, it went well until I crashed a truck into one of them. That didn't go so well.
I didn't realize I had like come down a mountain too fast. Number one, I fell down a mountain so hard this week that I died, which was hilarious. Thankfully, you can just repatriate and then just spawn where you were. But I ran into a BT this week with a truck, like one of the few times I've driven a truck, and smacked right into it. So it did that thing where the hands and the bodies are coming out of the pool. Dropped some of the cargo I was carrying. So as I was scooping that up, I got pulled down into the pool, which, have you had that happen to you before?
Yes, I have had several encounters where the hands have got me, and it's done the Jaws thing, where it's just that person going through water really quick. Yeah,
it like shoots you in the black goop sort of further away, and I got 4 bosses that all spawned at the same time. I was like, this is fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yes. I don't know how I feel about the combat. I love the bowler gun because it's so stupid.
Bowler gun is really good.
It's so dumb on like 15 different levels, and that's fine. I'm just all about like the fact that it comes with like 22 rounds. It's just like, okay, I'm in a mule territory. I missed one of the pings, so they're all going to come after me. Let's just stand still, unhook my little floaty things, stand still, let them all come at me, and they're all going to get bowled and then kicked in the face. Because that's all I do is I bowl them and then kick them in the face.
The level 2 bowler gun is really great because the spread is wider and it can shoot way farther.
Yes, I know.
That's really good.
And also it has certain things infused with it, which makes it really effective in other situations too.
That's right. I never really used them against BTs, but I knew you could.
Really useful because you can literally go up and tickle the BT and they don't do nothing.
You haven't yet gotten your next offensive weapon against the BTs, but that's the one I use the most. Which one is it?
If it's another projectile launcher, then yes, I have.
No. Your cufflinks get upgraded at some point with another offensive move against BTs.
Can I Wonder Woman it and just slam them my hands together like at the wrist point and I just have this big explosion of force come out of it?
That would be really good. That will be my DLC request.
Okay. But yeah, my summation on Death Stranding that I have played this week is I don't know. That's literally the best I can use to describe it.
I'm really excited to potentially do a spoiler cast just to talk about this game in more explicit detail.
Mm-hmm. Hear that, Nim?
Yeah.
Get on it. Chop chop.
Yeah, I know. I can't buy any more games though because holiday season.
That's fair,
dude.
Don't blame me.
Make a veto.
I'm just saying. I've already been told by my wife that I'm not allowed to buy anything.
That's fair. I can understand that.
But yeah, that's all I've been playing. So over to you, Nimp.
All right. So first off, I got to correct myself from last week's podcast because when I was talking about the graphics card that I got, I said a 750. I meant a 570. Had a dyslexic moment. It didn't sound right when I said it out loud last time, but I wasn't quite sure why. And then I turned around after the podcast and saw the box, and I'm like, "Yep, that's why it didn't sound right."
There it is.
So. First game I played, did a lot of PC gaming this past weekend. I've got Game Pass on PC right now.
Shockingly.
Yeah, I know. So, the first game that I randomly checked out was Vambrace Cold Soul.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am not entirely sure why I picked this up, because this seems like it's supposed to be a roguelike. I'm not a roguelike kind of person.
Oh, really? Tell me about this game. It's almost as if we have a show dedicated to this type of game.
I know. In the description... Go ahead.
Go ahead. This is the part of... for anyone listening, we have a little bit of Skype delay, so go ahead.
Oh. Well, I was just going to say, in the description, it describes it as being a roguelite, I believe.
Yes.
Those descriptions always lie.
Yeah, well... So I had downloaded it just to, I don't know, test out my PC or something. I honestly don't know how it got on my computer. I just clicked.
It has a cool art style.
Yeah, it looks cool. But I have not gotten very far into it. You will notice a common theme with my games this week that I've touched a lot of games but didn't get very far into any of them.
Yeah.
I started it up. The two characters that you play as are Biggs and Wedge. Which I got a good laugh out of because I don't know how, but Biggs and Wedge have transcended movies, pop culture, video games,
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Final Fantasy, Star Wars. You know, they're everywhere. I ended up in the underground city, and I'm not going to spoil anything because I haven't gotten far enough to spoil anything, really. This is just what happens in the first half hour of the game. It turns out, from what I know so far, is that the entire surface is a frozen wasteland, and there's just this one city underground. It's a dwarven city that you end up in. And the very first bit of lore that you pick up in this game that I thought was kind of funny was a flyer that tells you how to keep warm. And it just says, step 1, make a fire. Step 2, stand in front of fire. Step 3, be warm. I'm like, okay, so we're playing this kind of game now.
Yeah.
But that was really about as far as I got with it. The map for the town, you're not actually moving a character, you're moving an icon across something that's kind of a map. It reminds me more of if anyone's played D&D, how you have a drawing of a town just a 2D drawing. This one's watercolor, and you're just moving your icon around this watercolored drawing of a town. And it looks cool. I have my characters set up. I've hired 3 other characters. I'm ready to go do an expedition, and that's where I stopped.
So the really funny thing about Vambrace is that this is... Moon, you will find this funny. This is a part of a newly burgeoning subgenre that I call literally Darkest Dungeon. Between this and Mistover, they are actually literally Darkest Dungeon. They just look about 5% different. Mistover looks exactly... That's Japanese Darkest Dungeon. It looks exactly the same. Vambrace is just cold Darkest Dungeon. And it is shockingly close to that game.
Well, I know what Boston's playing next.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks cool. I just honestly, like, it's just not a genre that I normally play, and I just don't know what drew me to it. So I'll have to try more to see if I'm actually going to play more of it, or if I just get an hour into it, I'm like, nope, screw this, not for me. But
sometimes that's what you got to do, and then you'll find a roguelike that suddenly gets you into it, and then all of a sudden you're playing roguelikes every week for a show.
I guess maybe. Right. But yeah, the art style and everything looks real nice, so I will give them that. I mean, it would definitely just be a me thing for why I don't continue playing this game. I don't think it would be anything that this game does. It's just not my genre kind of thing.
Right.
So from there, I finally got Gears 5 to install on my PC.
Yay.
Yeah. Started playing that, and I have gotten up to Act 1, Chapter 2, where I have launched something into the sky, and I now have Jack.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's about as far as I got. It feels like a Gears game. I mean...
Yep.
There's not much more. I'm playing it with controller because there's no way I'm going to try to figure out mouse and keyboard with this game, because I am so hardwired to play this with an Xbox controller that I don't think I'd be able to. It just wouldn't feel right. So I've got a spare Xbox One controller that I've been playing most of my PC games with, and that's what I've been using, and it feels great. It looks beautiful on the PC. I've got a little bit of hitching every once in a while here and there when something big's happening, but other than that, looks and runs fine.
Nice.
That's all I got to say about it so far. From there, because I wasn't really feeling Gears too much at that point in time, jumped right back into Breakpoint, Ghost Recon. And I was doing stupid stuff in this game. So there's a random facility. There are random facilities throughout the map that you can go and take over, kind of like a Far Cry, how they have compounds throughout the map that you can just go and take out whenever you feel like it. That's basically what these are, just on a bigger scale. Yeah, almost like
Ubisoft took another aspect of one of their other games and put it in another different one of their other games.
Exactly. This one, though, the facility was partially in a forest. So this one whole back area of the facility was just nothing but a forested area in this hilly terrain. And I was kind of studying the area, screwing around, and I got noticed. And because I was trying to... I found out that they had a mortar on top of one of the buildings. And I wanted to climb up the building to see if I could take over and just cause havoc all over the facility.
Yeah.
I found out 2 hours later that, one, no, you can't take it over. You can only shut it down. And because it's automated and it only locks onto you. So I got noticed. I hopped the fence and ran into the woods and hid. The mortar kept blowing stuff up around me, so I had to keep moving around. And then I stumbled upon the fact that they kept sending people out into the forest after me when they can't see me. I am playing a long-range stealth character, so this turned into an awesome Predator thing where people would come out and they couldn't find me, and next thing you know, there's 5 dead guys in an area and they don't know where I'm at. And I'm running back and forth flanking these guys as they're sending them after me at like different parts of the base.
And I just keep It just becomes the forest of 1,000 corpses.
Yeah, like I've got C4 traps laid out because they sent out like 10 of the real big heavy guys with miniguns. They all ran into the same area, and I was just setting off my C4, and they were gone. And then I'm just sitting there sniping people off. And for about a half hour, just for effect, I turned on my thermal vision just so I could feel like the Predator, because why not?
Yeah, you got to get thematic with it.
Yeah, so took over that base just from them, like, sending everyone out into the forest. Nobody could find me, so everyone's just dead. And I think that's why I really like this game, is that it lets me just do dumb, stupid stuff, and it kind of lets me get away with it.
Yeah.
At least to the point, because, I mean, I was also getting other, like, randomly throughout the roads, there'll be caravans that drive by. And there happened to be a road close enough into the forest that every once in a while they would hear gunfire and they would stop and come out into the forest and look for me. That would kind of throw me off a little bit because I wasn't expecting them. And you don't have, like, your map doesn't show you where your enemies are at unless you've already spotted them. So it's real easy for somebody to come up behind you if you can't, I guess, like, hear them or notice where they're at beforehand. It's real easy for them to sneak up on you. And that's kind of the crap thing about this game, is that their audio for where the soldier, like, noises that soldiers make are all over the place. You'll hear them talking and it sounds like they're right next to you, and you're looking around and you don't see anybody, and all of a sudden you see a guy that's like 150 meters down and you're hearing him like he's right next to you.
Bummer.
The enemies only say like 3 or 4 different things, but they're always like, oh, I spotted the enemy. It's like, no, you haven't, because I'm over here hiding and my screen is darkened to let me know that no one can see me right now. So you haven't spotted anything.
Who are you looking at?
Yeah. So you get dumb stuff like that from time to time. That part of the game's not great, but the rest of it is fantastic. I also started up co-op just to try it out because it's in the game. Mm-hmm. It feels like they're trying to set this game up to be like Destiny, to be like Division, where, you know, you will have your gear level and all that stuff. I'm gear level, I think, like 70 now or something. Mm-hmm. It doesn't really play a factor in the game until you go after specific facilities that have, like, gear scores on them, because these are supposed to be the tougher areas. When I did co-op, it was just me and one other guy, and this guy wanted to do an area that was gear level 78. At the time, I was 60, and I think he was like 68. Mm-hmm. And he decided that he was going to go and do this. I'm like, fine, whatever. I will give you support as long range. And it took us a while, but we managed to take out that base, just the two of us being under-leveled, I guess you would call it. But it took forever.
Yeah.
And it also helped because he would run off to one side of the base and they would all be alerted to him. So I would be picking things off, because at this point there was machines, and there were also people that we were fighting. So everyone would be on his side of the base. I would be picking things off to help give him support, and then he would eventually die. And then he would come back, and then I would draw everything to my side of the base, and I would just run and hide while picking things off, and then he would pull up the distraction again. And that's how we just kept luring everybody out. Yeah. And it doesn't feel like we're doing less damage, really. And it doesn't feel like the enemies have more health or anything, so I'm not entirely sure what the gear score is, like why we were alerted that we were too low for this.
Interesting.
Because it felt like a headshot was still taking them out in one hit.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The only thing that I had noticed was the, I guess, the robots or whatever that we were taking on. I haven't fought a whole lot of those. I've been steering clear of them for the most part. But it felt like those took forever to take out. But I don't know if that's just because that's how they're supposed to be in this game, or maybe was the reason for why the gear score was so high, or what.
Yeah.
So I gotta mess around with that and try to figure out what it means to be a 78 compared to like an 80 or, you know, whatever.
Right.
I don't care. So, but a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying the game. I just love the dumb stuff it'll let me do. I drove a bike off the side of a mountain by accident.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like these, if they put the destruction element into this game of Just Cause, I feel like the Ghost Recon games would make a fine a successor to the Mercenaries games. Because the Mercenaries games were always such dumb fun, just like running in, throwing like a carpet bomb grenade down, and then watching everything just die. Throw in some destruction, and I think the Ghost Recon games would make a really good like Mercenaries 2020 kind of series.
That'd be great.
If these games were not so far up their own butt with their military lingo and everything,
and like the seriousness.
Yep, because my God, I have never, being a guy who's been in the military,
right?
We do not talk like that at all, and it's weird because playing Call of Duty 2, like every word in Call of Duty is F this, F that, SU, S this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I swear a lot. I know you can't tell that by this podcast,
right?
But swearing is my crutch. I live to swear.
Yep.
We don't talk like that in the military. And when stuff goes down, you're not randomly throwing out, you know, whatever military word you're thinking of.
Wait, are you telling me that when you move from a location to a location, you don't say Oscar Mike?
Yeah, guess what? I'm not yelling out my location in the middle of a gunfight, because if you can hear me, they can hear me.
Weird.
Yeah. But it's just, I don't know, playing this game is funny when they just start throwing out like all these military words and acronyms and all this, and it's like, who did you guys talk to figure out what this means? Like
right.
some of the terminology is like really old terminology that nobody uses anymore, or you know, it's just,
oh right,
you guys went so far up your own butts to get this going this way that I can't even take it seriously.
Maybe they don't use it in America, but maybe in France they still do.
Yeah,
maybe they do, but maybe. I don't know, because I wasn't in the French military. So, but anyway, the next game that I played after Breakpoint is Remnant from the Ashes.
Oh, there's a game on my should have played it this year list.
Yeah, I've had an interesting experience with this game because I had my game set up to open to public, so that anyone can come in and join. And you can have, it's you and 2 other people that can play it at once. I've had this random person keep popping into my game whose name is Nomad. We have not talked at all. We have not communicated at all. This is like all a Journey-esque thing where this guy just randomly showed up on my game and he's like showing me stuff, him or her, I don't know. But it's like just watching them play, I've learned a lot more on how to actually play this game than I was figuring out on my own. And they've shown me like hidden things throughout some of the maps that we've been going through. So I've got like this awesome equipment that I've been using for a while now and leveling up.
Can you see the gamer tag / real name / whatever thing? Because you need to check and see if it's Steve Rogers in disguise.
You might be able to. I don't know.
That's
I haven't
a deep
messed with
cut
Steam
right
that
there,
much.
folks. That's a deep cut.
But I think I played like 7 hours of this game. Just because I was following this guy. I'm like, well, he's really helpful. I'll just keep going until he stops going. Because normally in co-op games, you play with somebody for like maybe an hour or 2. Like, no, this guy was long hauling it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, we're just going to keep going. And we had 2 different game sessions where they just randomly showed up in my game. And we got all the way up to, there's this bridge fight where there's these 2 enemies that you have to fight at once. And they're on either side of the bridge. Cannot get past this right now. And so that's where we both stopped playing at this point in time.
It's another Dark Souls-esque game.
With guns.
With guns. But again, the problems start when a bridge appears.
Yep.
Yeah, every single time.
And it's not that bad because when the fight starts, it's just this one enemy. And then once you get them to, I don't know, like halfway, half health, they split. So then you've got one enemy on one side and one enemy on the other side. And it's the exact same enemy doing the exact same movesets. And it'll call out like these fluffy cloud things that will home in on you. So you have to shoot them out of the sky, but you're getting them from both sides. And there's like a lot. So you're trying to shoot these out while dodging these guys, and you can't dodge the fluffy stuff because it will follow you, and it won't stop until either you shoot it out of the air or it hits you. And it's just a stupid pain in the butt. I've tried, 6-7 times to beat it, and we've gotten to the point where we've taken out one of the enemies on one side of the bridge, went to focus fire on the other one, and all of a sudden we're, one of us goes down, or we've been down a third person for most of the match.
Dark Souls, yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like if you lose somebody, it goes downhill rather quickly. You can try to save it, but we haven't had any luck. We got really close the last time, and I rolled off the bridge, and I was really mad. Which I don't think we were going to win it anyway, because when I looked up, it was just me and the other guy, and we were barely, we couldn't keep up with DPS at all. We weren't, we just couldn't get there. Our equipment, his equipment's way better than mine, but, I couldn't keep up with what was going on, which is weird because I can't, so far at least, I haven't found any other pieces of equipment, weapons or armor to pick up. And everything that I've had, I've upgraded all the way to the point that I can have it, but it feels like I'm not doing as much damage as I need to be doing to keep up with even just the common enemies on the map.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I've missed something along the way, which is entirely possible, because like a Souls game, there's just random crap all over the place.
Yeah, break this,
find it, and
break this unremarkable wall. Hey, there's a great gun back there.
Well, and that was the thing, the very first area that you get into, I didn't know you could break crates in this game. And I was trying to figure out how to use your melee weapon, because it's not, you hit Y and you switch between your two ranged weapons. And I was like, okay, maybe you hold Y and you pull out your melee. No, you don't. Okay, whatever. Well, so I go through and I clear this whole area, not restart, but at this point in time I had saved, came back a couple hours later, and that's when Nomad showed up and was walking me through the game. The first area you teleport into, there's crates up against this wall, and if you blow up this crate and crouch through this hole in the wall and go up these stairs, there's a brand new set of armor right there for you to grab that's way better than the crap you have.
Yep. Oh, wow. Okay.
And I'm like, I went through this whole area thinking that I was doing good for myself, searching for stuff, and this kid's like, hey, you missed this real simple thing right here.
Right.
So... And then I spent probably about a good hour to try to figure out how you're supposed to do melee, until I realized that you just have to pull the trigger, your right trigger for the Xbox controller. If you're not aiming at something and you pull that, you'll swing your weapon. Or if enemies are really close to you, you'll swing your weapon, which really sucks because there are a lot of times you're getting rushed by enemies. And you'll go from you're shooting them with your shotgun because they're really close to all of a sudden you're swinging your weapon, which 9 times out of 10 is not what you want to be doing.
Yeah. Right. I want to shoot them with the shotgun point blank.
So this game's got a lot of weird stuff, and I don't know if that's something I can change in the settings or not. I'll dig around in there just to kind of look, but I wasn't planning on playing it as much as I did. And like I said, I just kind of went with the flow with it and figured it out. It's pretty fun, so I'll play more of that. I don't know how I am with the Souls games right now, because like I said, the only one that I really played was Demon Souls. I started Bloodborne, and I kind of fell off of that just because there's not a whole lot of lore that's happening. It's just me running around killing things.
Right.
Which normally isn't an issue, except for that every enemy that you come across is supposed to be like this big challenge, which just kind of turns into being a pain in the butt to play and just kind of annoying. And not
like
really
encounter after encounter.
Yeah. And I had gotten stuck at one point because you're supposed to lift this gate on a bridge. Or actually, no, this one was a stairwell. It just felt like a bridge. But nothing's telling you where you find this item. So I'm thinking that this is supposed to be like an enemy drop that I'm supposed to be getting. So I'm going back through and killing all of this stuff, not finding anything. And then my buddy tells me, hey, no, you're just supposed to go back to the dream state, buy this crest. And when you have this crest, go back to that door and it'll raise the gate.
Yep.
And I'm looking at this crest, and the crest doesn't even say anything on it about it being a part of anything. So it's like, how the hell am I supposed to know that's what that's supposed to do? Like, no, this isn't some 1990s adventure game that I'm playing where I'm just shoving things into a thing to see what it does. So that's kind of why I fell off of Bloodborne for a little bit, but one day I might get back to it. Next game I played, Atelier Sophie. Wait for it. The Alchemist of the Mysterious Book. Because it's a JRPG.
Yeah, well, I would have guessed.
I have always wanted to start these games, and I've never found a good entry point.
So that's kind of where I've been at, too. I did a lot of reading, and apparently Sophie is a good one to start with.
Okay. Is that the one that came out this year?
No, it came out in 2016.
Okay.
It was on sale on Steam. I think it still is on sale for $19 right now on Steam.
Oh, nice. For anyone listening that doesn't know about the Atelier series, each one, there's series of trilogies, and apparently if you want to start on the Atelier series, you start at the beginning of one of the trilogies. So like 2016 was one and 2019 was one. Those are both the beginnings of their respective trilogies.
Yeah, so Sophie is the start of this trilogy. And it was recommended by a lot of people to start with this one because it is not as time-based as the originals were, where you have to complete a lot of different things within a certain time interval or as you fail the game.
Yeah.
This so far, there's a lot of movement of time, but so far not any restrictions yet. Where I haven't had a hard stop of I need to learn this recipe and I need to be able to do it within 3 days kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So far it's just been you need to learn these recipes, time is flowing, go.
Right, and, you have months to do it.
Yeah, and it kind of freaked me out at first because there wasn't anything telling me that I had a time limit to complete this. And anytime you move in this game, time is moving. Anytime you fight something, you collect something, you do anything in this game, time is moving. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of stressing me out a little bit.
Yeah.
No thanks. No, I don't need that anxiety on top of everything else, please.
Well, and that's the thing, and that's why I was glad to find out that it is moving, but it's not. I'm not being restricted right now, and I don't know if that changes later on in the game where I start getting these dates, like a due date or something for something that I have to accomplish. But right now, it's just, hey, you need to learn how to make a bomb. Your alchemy level needs to be 10. These are the items you need to try to find to make it. Have at it.
Nice.
Okay, so that's kind of what I've been doing, and I've unlocked a lot of different areas to go explore and check out. The combat system is very light, I guess, for JRPGs, where you've got your attack, your skill, your defend, and your run away, and that's it. There's no, you are leveling up, but you're not really earning experience. It's basically you kill an enemy, and that enemy is worth 1 experience. If it's a tougher enemy, it might be worth 2. I think my characters are level 5 right now.
Yeah.
And I would have to kill like 40 enemies to get them up to level 6. So it's like very light JRPG. It seems like this game is mostly focused on the crafting element that is in most
you're crafting
JRPGs.
in your alchemy. Yeah.
Yep. Which is really cool because that's usually the kind of systems that I really enjoy playing around with in JRPGs. My favorite crafting systems to this day is Dark Cloud 2, where you're building a village. Yeah.
Taking pictures,
It's the only time I've ever been happy that I've opened a chest and it says, hey, you found mud. And it's like, yes, I need mud.
I got that mud. I'm golfing for some mud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been really fun. I haven't hit any major milestones yet in the game. I figured out where to find a water supply because there's a well right in front of my house that I didn't know I could draw water from. So
there you go.
I was inadvertently screwing myself on water. But it's real blue sky game. There's no demon lord that's threatening to kill the world or whatever. It's just this girl that is learning to become an alchemist who just wants to help out the town that she's in.
Yeah.
And you have a flying book that talks.
I love it.
Nothing weird here.
No, totally normal.
So I think I only played like an hour or 2 of this. And I'm really looking forward to playing more of it. It's kind of really got my hooks me with the crafting already because I have crafted so much of this one medicine that I started selling it and turning it in for quests, and now I have all this money, and I don't need money right now.
Right.
So, we'll see what happens. Really fun game. Next, I played way too much of Rocket League.
Yeah.
With my son. I finally got the Far, Far Away trophy, which is the travel of 50 kilometers.
Yeah.
And now I'm working on the final trophy that I need, which is Rider's Block, which is making 20 saves. And then I will have the platinum in Rocket League.
Yes.
I don't know, man. The saves seem like the biggest pain in the butt ever.
Yup.
Yeah.
I am 2 away. I'm at 18 right now. I just need 2 more to get this trophy.
Oh, so close.
And I played goalie for 5 straight matches, and it seemed to, like, things that I have normally seen as being a save, it's not counting. I don't know if I'm just like 1 pixel too early from hitting the ball away from goal or what.
Right.
But it did not happen at all, and I was getting frustrated by it.
Rocket League.
Yeah. I've started getting better with the aerials, and so much that I can lift my car up from the ground for extended periods of time. Still can't control it, but I can do it.
Okay, so we're on about the same level now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you point your butt to the ground and hit boost, you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need to know. My son is so much better at this game than me that it's kind of annoying, but not really.
The funny thing is, for me, is like, when everybody started talking about Rocket League back when it was a PlayStation exclusive, I think it was at the time.
Yeah.
It was like PC and PlayStation exclusive. I was talking to my wife about it, and I was like, I didn't really. When this comes to Xbox, we need to get it because I think it might be something that you really like.
Mm-hmm.
And as always with my wife, she said, "No, you don't know what I like. I won't like it."
Mm-hmm.
So on and so forth. Cut to like 5 years later, and
5,000 hours later.
Ridiculously good at that game. And it's like to the point where like I see her playing it and she like jump onto ranked or whatever because she wants to try and like get up to diamond or platinum or whatever. It's like, I ain't playing with you because you're playing ranked and I can barely do like a fly move and you're doing like 360 rotational moves to counter your upwards arc and then boost down so you can get a powerful shot off. It's like I'm out.
Yeah.
There's just like stupid stuff where it's like just watching my son play where he's switching the camera on and off depending on the function that he wants it. And I'm like,
wow.
I don't even think about doing that. I just stick with eyes on ball all the time, so I just know where the stupid thing is. Because that little arrow indicator is garbage.
Yes, it is.
But the crappy thing is that it brings out my competitiveness, which is not something that an 11-year-old should be witness to. So I'll be sitting in my room and I will just be really quiet and my son will run in and he's like, "Hey, you still good? You still connected?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. Just go back in there. We're going to keep playing."
You don't need to watch this.
So we'll keep going with that. Eventually I will get this stupid trophy. It's only been 5 years in the making between glitches and everything else with this stupid game. So the last game that I played was Cold Steel 3. I believe I have finally caught up with the prologue. The prologue starts you into the future, and then once you've completed the prologue, it sets you back. I don't even remember if it tells me, but I'm in the past right now working my way back up to where the prologue was. The present time or whatever. I'm at least within the area that the prologue took place in. I don't know if that means that I'm actually caught up, or if this is one of those things where it's like, hey, this is that area, and then I go away for a while and then come back and then get caught up. But I have pretty much been introduced back with all of the old cast from the original 2 games. I have all my students for my class. There's 5 of them all together now. It's still fun. I'm still really enjoying it, which is shocking. I find it shocking every time I can come onto the podcast and say, yeah, I'm still really liking it, considering how much I fell off the second game so hard. But yeah, not a whole lot to really say about it, because I'm way into the point of spoiler territory for people that would care about it, so I can't really talk about anything with this game right now. So that's all that I've been playing. What about you, Boston?
I only have 2 games this week. Real short one. On the first one, Diablo 3 brand new season started. No idea what the season number is. Season of Pandemonium.
Oh, jeez.
Basically, this season, as you get kill streaks, fun and powerful effects happen. So at like 10 kills, a bunch of explosive chickens come out. At 50 kills, like these big tornadoes come out and start cleaning up enemies. It goes all the way up to 1,000. And it has a longer timer. You know, there are those kill streak counters in the game where it has the display at the bottom will give you extra experience. It's not as strict as those. It has a much longer timer on it, so you're not expected to kill 100 right now. It's just like you have to kill 100 over a pretty long period of time. Goes all the way to 1,000. 1,000 was kept a secret until the season is out. I'm definitely not going to spoil it here because I haven't gotten it, but I've seen it and it is really cool. I have been playing a barbarian this season because I haven't played as one in forever. So I'm very much right now in the whirlwind plus rend area where I'm just spinning like a top through hundreds of enemies, and that's still really fun. So it's nice to come back to Diablo 3 for like a week or two every 3 or 4 months. When I see something on Twitter where it's like brand new season, I'm like, all right, yeah, let's get the patch, let's get in on this. So Diablo 3 is still great. But I'm a little burnt out on games, so probably not going to spend a lot of time on Diablo 3 this season. Last game. Okay. Yes, get ready for this one. I have spent every available piece of free time over the last 4 days on this long weekend completely engrossed in Fortnite.
Yeah. I noticed a whole bunch of like
Twitter
tweets about So out of curiosity, is this just the Battle Royale mode, or is this also the Save the World mode?
Save the World is very expensive. Epic, please please have a sale on that or something. Save the World is $40 to $60, so it is very much not Save the World. It is just Battle Royale. I've only been playing solos, and I think part of there's 2 things that were kind of dragging me through the early part of Fortnite where I'm learning how to switch weapons and shoot things.
Okay.
Like the real
boss that allows you to get the wins.
I only have 1 win, and that was the one against the bots at the very beginning of the season.
The make you feel good match.
Yeah, it did make me feel good until Monkey Senior brought me back to ground, being like, "That was bots." I was like, "Okay, thank you." One is unveiling the map, because the map was all grayed out as soon as you started it. So you're finding landmarks and you're finding all sorts of stuff. I liked unveiling the map as you went through. The other one is the challenges. There's, I think, 10 categories of challenges, and each one has 10 in them. And you have 3 challenges live in each category at any time. Complete one, and another one will sort of bubble up from the list. This is different from your daily challenges. And that's all like, kill 3 people with guns and stuff like that. That's the fairly common stuff. This one is like, loot 7 chests in this one area, or drop in these 3 separate areas, or dance in these 4 separate areas, stuff like that. So
that's basically the weekly challenges for the Apex Season Pass. It's exactly that same thing. It's land in X area, open this number of loot bins in this area, do X amount of damage with this type of gun, with this character, so on and so forth.
Yeah, and each those are, I asked someone, I think they said they just extended the season until like February or something. Those all persist throughout the entire season.
I think that was green capped.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. So I those sort of pulled me into Fortnite as a sort of way of saying like, hey, you can get, if you're not getting a lot of experience by exploring and killing and doing well in the game yet, you can do this other stuff by just like land in these 3 separate areas. All right, I can do that. I found them on the map. Like loot 7 ammo chests in 1 match. All right, cool. I can do that. Nobody else seems to open those. That's great. And then I started doing well enough to get in the top 10 almost every match.
So, as usual,
yes,
Boston gets bitten by the bug about 5 years after it's really hit the mainstream.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Which is good because it takes me on average about 5 seconds to get into a game, which feels really great. As Destiny 2's season wanes and those queue times get longer, it's nice to sort of be like, oh, I'm going to get into a game. Oh, all right, I'm already into a game. All right, putting down Twitter. I'm season rank 43. So I've played a considerable amount. I have gotten the gloopy guy, the slime guy that I really wanted.
I was going to ask if you were going to get him.
I'm never changing that skin again because you can see his little beady eyeballs through the back of his head. He's really great. It's really good. The thing that I was really worried about with Fortnite is the thing that I don't like, which is the building. I've been practicing. The majority of the time when I'm using building, it is to get from point A to point B, or to like get on the top of a shipping container to open a chest or something. The part that I'm genuinely tickled by is I don't build in firefights, and that psychological warfare has largely worked in my favor because the last thing when the ring is closing and it's like the top 25 and the top 10, the last thing that people expect you to do is to start climbing up their tower with a shotgun as opposed to building your own castle in the sky. Like they do not know how to handle it, and they do not know what to do, and it's really great.
It's the case of the amateur coming in with fresh new ideas, and the experts don't know what to do about it.
Hold on.
Yeah, because like...
Hold on. What if we don't build?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, my God. Yeah, and like it's very much been that, where it's like, you know, the top 50, the bottom 50 of those get cleared out pretty quickly, myself included a lot of time, where it's like, all right, I placed number 97. All right, here we go. I got killed immediately. Let's go. But yeah, it has been a lot of fun where it's like someone doesn't expect you to be right under their tower and shoot a rocket up, so they fall down. Take damage, and you shotgun them. It's like, yeah, that's right. Anti-builder over here. Change things up.
I was going to say, that's always been my thing. The couple of streams that I've watched with Fortnite, because I can't stand most people that stream this game, I never understood why they didn't follow them, because they are building a trail directly to them.
And it's just like they're giving you a path.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they have a path up this mountain. Like, you know exactly where they're going. And I think part of what I like about Fortnite is the hard time that I have in some games is it's really easy for me to see other players in this game pretty immediately. I know I'd get to that point with Apex or PUBG or stuff like that, but
honestly, the two easiest games because of the art style for that is Apex and Fortnite.
And
I can't see anybody in PUBG. Even in Battlefield, I can't see people. It's just like, okay, there's a light coming at me from that direction. I'm just going to fire there and look for the hit markers.
Yeah, that light turns out to be a bullet streaming to your head.
It's always exactly what it is.
Yeah, and I really wish that Apex had cross-progression, cross-save, because I think I probably would play that more often, because I would get to play it on whatever platform my friends are on. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of Fortnite, and I'm really having a really great time, and I can see why people play that a lot. And I haven't played duos or any of the arena stuff or anything like that, but there's a new season of Destiny 2 starting on the 10th, so I will swap one problem for another, being completely transparent with everyone. But until then, I'm kind of having fun checking out a Fortnite where the slate has been wiped clean, and it's not this person turned into Thanos, and here's John Wick over here, and here's a dude in a friggin' robot. You know, like none of that. It's just sort of like, all right, we've got all these guns and building towers in the sky, and I'm just chopping down trees. So it has shockingly been a lot of fun. But that's all I'm playing.
That is also a very PG game. So that is
my kid loves watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She really likes narrating, like, ooh, he's going in the house. Ooh, he went upstairs. Oh, he's going downstairs. Oh, there's a bathroom. Oh, there's a lighthouse. It's just like, okay, cool. So that has been pretty great.
If she's pointing out bathrooms, then she already understands Battle Royale 101.
Yeah, right. Hide in the tub.
Stay in there.
Yeah, get in the tub. Hide in there. Yeah. But that's all I'm playing this week, so let's take a break. Let's talk U.S. releases for the week of December 2nd, 2019. Blair Witch comes to PS4.
Play it.
It's been out long enough, you sort of know whether or not you want to play it.
Budget horror game. Give it a shot.
Yeah. The Halo Master Chief Collection comes to the PC. Alongside that, Halo Reach comes to the Master Chief Collection as well. If I remember correctly...
Halo games?
It is really good. If I remember correctly, the Master Chief Collection on PC doesn't come with everything immediately, but there's like a new game coming out every couple of months. So don't expect like 7 games day one. Life is Strange 2 Episode 5 comes out PC, PS4, and Xbox One. That's the final episode of that season. So people seem to be enjoying that so far, and I have not yet started it. So...
Nope.
We'll see.
I'm pretty sure we have it on the season pass and we haven't even launched it yet.
I just bought that on Black Friday sale because the whole thing was on sale on PS4 for $20. It's like, all right, that I can get in for $20 on the platform that I've played all the other ones on. So if anything gets carried over, I'm all, because I know it's on Game Pass, but we'll keep it all on the same platform. Darksiders Genesis comes out on PC and Stadia. I thought this was a next year release, but apparently maybe just on consoles.
This Diablo-like?
Yes, the Darksiders Diablo style game. So very curious to see what this is, because that sounds a lot like chocolate and peanut butter are smushed together, and I'm very interested.
Is that supposed to be part of the core 4 stories? Like, is this supposed to be the Strider story, or is this just its own thing?
No. Yeah, I think it's a spin-off of, like, well, one of them was doing something, another one was doing this over here. I don't think it's, like, canonically in the franchise sort of series thing. Lastly, Ancestors, The Humankind Odyssey comes out on PS4 and Xbox One. This is Patrick Desailly's studio, the Assassin's Creed guy.
This is the evolution of man. There's that word again. Game.
Yep. Hey, there you go. To say that it has gotten mixed reviews would be putting it kindly, and to say that Patrick Desailly is having a problem with that is also putting it kindly. So, this is a game I really want to check out, but it has not come out at the right times this year, including this release. So maybe 2020.
Game Pass when?
Yeah, I mean, the new version of Switch when is Game Pass when.
Yes.
But yeah. All right, we have 2 VR news stories this week. Let's start off with Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, saying nobody's asking for VR on Xbox.
Yes, understandably.
His direct quote is, quote, "I have some issues with VR. It's isolating, and I think of games as communal, kind of together experience. We're responding to what our customers are asking for, and nobody's asking for VR," end quote. This got a lot of jimmies rustled this week, but he's not...
Was it by any chance the vocal minority of people who are obsessed with VR?
Who have a headset on right now? He goes on to say in the same interview, saying, like, I don't think VR is bad. I think there's a lot of great VR games out there, and the products are really great. It's just nothing people are asking for on the Xbox One or the Scarlet, so that's not where we're putting our focus. And I think he's right, because VR is still such a small part of the gaming market that why would you spend all that development time? If the PSVR had done super well and was still doing gangbusters, then yeah, Microsoft would have a lot more impetus to, if people were saying like, I really like PSVR, like when is Microsoft going to do that? Nobody's asking Xbox that question.
I mean, I really like my PSVR, but I would have to dust it off right now to play something, because I haven't played anything on it in a while. There hasn't been anything in a while for me, which has been largely the biggest complaint with VR, is that it's either a shooter or it's nothing. Like, no one's tried to develop outside of a shooter, really.
Right. Or it's like one of those games where on Steam where it's a shooting range, but you have to like accurately put the magazine into the gun and like rack it and stuff. And it's like, none of that stuff is fun.
There's literally hundreds of those on Steam. So
right, like, yeah, like make it like, I know Skyrim came out on VR, but like try and make like an RPG in VR, like some more of this stuff.
Skyrim's out on the Nokia 3210, so that coming out in VR is nothing surprising.
Skyrim is out on my fridge.
Do, like a tactical RPG where you're moving your things around like chess pieces on a map kind of thing, or just
that sounds so cool.
Grab some genre that we already have now and don't force it, but try to fit it within VR to give someone a reason to want to play something in VR.
Right.
Not everything needs to be you shooting something.
Right. Well, that dovetails nicely into our second news story. The biggest VR hit has so far been Beat Saber, and Facebook just bought Beat Games, the developer of Beat Saber.
Yep.
So they say they have tapped them for future Oculus VR projects that have gone unannounced, which is not too surprising, but with Facebook's track record of supporting or not supporting companies that they purchase, this is kind of a bummer. So, yeah. I mean,
this is almost like Campo Santo getting bought by Valve.
Yeah. Whoops. But at some point they come with a large enough check that you don't say no, and then in 6 months you retire from the company you found and then kind of live on a beach somewhere. So I can't really blame them, but that's hopefully Beat Saber doesn't go largely ignored now, because it'd be nice to see that game to continue to evolve. All right, let's talk about our questions. We have some questions here from T-Bomb Rocks this week from Discord. With Bluepoint teasing their next remakes, they might be Demon Souls and Legend of Dragoon, has me wondering, what current gen game could you see getting a full remake at some point down the road? What game would you like to see get this treatment? That's a good
Mass
question.
Effect Andromeda.
Yeah. I wonder if they go back and they kind of retool most of it.
Assassin's Creed
Would you
Unity.
just want a system overhaul or a story overhaul, or what would you want out of a remake for Andromeda?
For Andromeda, honestly, it needs just a spit and polish. Like,
a little more time in the oven.
Give it like 5 years and then stick that out in 12K resolution with 2 times HDR or whatever we're doing at that point.
Right.
With a full spit and polish on it and have it run smoothly without all of the bugs, and people would probably love it. Same with Assassin's Creed Unity. That game got the this game is so bad eyeball treatment. And I think Unity is actually, minus the 16,000 chests that are all over the map and the 15 different apps and services that you need to be on to open all of those chests.
Yep.
Unity is one of the most beautiful looking games like on this generation of platform. Yep. I would say still.
And it's a launch game.
Mm-hmm. That game is ridiculously good looking. And talk about some cloth physics, folks. That's got some cloth physics in that game. Well, other than that, I mean, you're going to see Horizon get a remake. You know you will.
Yeah. Ah, boy. Well, I'm trying to think of what else. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I would like to see Overdrive. Was it Overdrive? The Insomniac Xbox game.
Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah.
I want to see that get a remake just because I think it could use it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think it also needs a little bit more polish. It seemed like it was their first attempt at trying something kind of different, but not really.
Yeah.
It seemed like they threw a lot of their Ratchet and Clank ideas into this game, but didn't really, I guess, do well with any of the systems.
Yeah, it was fun, anyway. But there wasn't always a ton to do.
Yeah. So
I'm trying to think of the couple big games from the last couple of years. Like on the PS6, we'll see a remake or at least a remaster of God of War 2018. I mean, that's a given. Like same with Horizon Zero Dawn. Capcom's talking about doing a remake of Resident Evil 3. Of course, they were always going to. Like they'll just keep that rolling until the end of time. They'll just keep going through the series one after another. But I'm trying to think of stuff like Mass Effect Andromeda, where it's like not like the second tier of games, but it's not the like platform defining ones.
I got one for you. Even next generation of platforms, depending on when the new version comes out. Watch Dogs Collection. Yeah,
depending on what the story goes with Legion, you could do like a Watch Dogs trilogy collection where it's like, hey, we know you didn't play these. Here they're all in one $60 package and 12K 2x HDR. Yeah.
Yeah, they would have to do a lot of things to one, though, because Watch Dogs being my entry point into that series, I can't pull the trigger on buying 2.
Because 2 is so good.
I can't get over how bad 1 is right now.
It's so funny because
talking with everyone's like, you just need to play 2. And I'm like, I look at it in the store when it's like $14. I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah,
I'm
once
sitting
bitten,
at my
twice shy.
copy of 1, and I'm like, I can't do it.
Well, it's so funny because like I felt the same way until I started 2, and like 2 starts out interestingly, but like very quickly, and I was like, oh, for once, like a major company learned from the mistakes of their previous game. This is refreshing. This is nice to see.
You say that, and then they put out Breakpoint after Wildlands, and there are issues with those 2 games.
Don't forget they had just announced Ghost Recon Breakpoint's first raid. Hooray! And I saw that news story and I was like, the what? The what? What are you doing?
Yeah, it's been all over every time I turn it on. It's like, well, that seems weird, but...
Yeah. I feel like, talking about Ubisoft, they'll probably do like a Far Cry 3, 4, 5 trilogy, like next gen, maybe. And people will look at it and go...
They will definitely do that next gen. They'll definitely do that next gen. Because if they do 3, 4, 5, they can even throw in the added spice of pre-order now and get New Dawn as part of the package.
Exactly. God, what else? I can't think of anything else this gen that's been so crazy.
The Insane Crash Trilogy × 2, so the Insaner Crash Trilogy as it gets remastered again.
Yeah. This time has Crash Team Racing and 12K 2x HDR.
Honestly, for me, it's mostly a case of like I want to see the games as a service that are consistently played a lot by a lot of people. I want to see them evolve graphically with the times. So
yes,
this is the part that's going to scare me about the next generation. I want to be able to load up Dead by Daylight and have it recognize that I'm on a next generation and increase the frames, increase the texture packs, increase all that stuff. More importantly, keep all the stuff I've already got right there. Right. I want to do the same thing for Elite. I want to load up Elite and be able to like zoom in and see like one pixel that is like a planet, and then you just zoom in and it's like it gets better and better and better the better you closer you get to it. I want that stuff, but that stuff needs to carry over because this is the first time we've really had a generation where progress is going to matter going through to the next generation.
Well, and this is really the breaking point for games as a service games, where it's like if there's a version of Destiny 2 that's on the PS5 and my characters don't carry over, then I know where I stop. Like, you know, like same thing with a lot of these other games. Like my expectation is that when versions of these games come out for the PS5 and the Scarlet, they'll look better, they'll run better, whatever. But my expectation is I get the new console, there's a new version of the game, I don't have to play it on my old console anymore, I get to play it on this new one.
Here's the question, though, is do you have to pay for it on the new console?
Yeah, you will.
Yeah, I wonder how much. I feel like games like Apex Legends, Fortnite, like you're free to play Battle Royale games. Probably not. It'll say like, now available on PS5, and you can go download there. But stuff like PUBG, Destiny 2, Elite Dangerous, stuff like that, I wonder if they'll be like, well, you know, due to the development cost, it's a $10 upgrade pack or whatever, you know, like more likely $40.
There are some developers that I will happily give that money to. Like,
sure,
if the Dead by Daylight crew turn around and say, okay, it's now on the next gen, it's got all your progress, everything's carried over, all your DLC is there, everything like that, it's $5 to $15 to do
That's
this
fair.
upgrade path. I will be happy with stuff like that. But if someone comes out and says, here is this old... Because ideally, I want, when this next generation comes out, I want to take the new Xbox, I want to unplug my X, I want to plug the new one in right there, I want to plug my hard drive in, and I just want to play. I don't want all of this re-downloading of everything I've already downloaded to another hard drive. I just want to be able to do it. Even if they say, well, you can upgrade this to the next gen version for like $2, that's fine. I won't do it for 90% of the games. I'll play the X version essentially.
Or you gotta wait for a patch on your Scarlet, and that's fine. Like it'll just patch as stuff comes out.
But if the majority of these people turn around and say, well, you can't download these games because they're all for the X or the Xbox One or the generation before that, that's when I might be having a further look at it. Both Sony and Microsoft, I might be thinking at that point, oh, how much am I actually going to support this if now you're telling me that I need to pay $10 to play this game that I've already purchased and downloaded on the previous generation?
Right. Times 400 games.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Times that by 400, that's, let's say, skying it a little bit. Let's say it's $600 for a console. That's $800 for the 400 games that I've installed if they're $2 a pop to quote-unquote upgrade them. It's a whole different conversation at that point. And honestly, Microsoft do the smart thing here. Say all of the Microsoft Studios games,
first-party games,
free upgrade to your next generation thing. It's up to the developers if they want to charge any, and let's see which developers really want to take your money away from you.
Yeah, I feel like this gen is gonna the migration from generation to generation. I feel like this gen is gonna be the first big one where I feel like our expectations are different, because even 360 PS3 to the current gen, I think our expectation was still, we'll make a hard cut, I'll have two consoles plugged in at the same time, and eventually I can just get rid of the 360 because I don't play anything on there anymore. I feel like the cross between these two generations, the current and the next gen, feels a lot more blurry, where it's like, well, I have all my friends over here, and I have all my games that I'm still playing, and some of them are free and some aren't, and I sort of want to make that transition as easy as possible. And I feel like starting with this gen, that's going to be more important. And moving from the next gen to the generation after that is going to be even more important. Our expectations are going to be much different.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's get to T-Bomb Rocks' final question this week. And our final question: what are some things you like and dislike about the area you live in?
Public transport sucks, but that's #America.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Unless you live in one of 2 cities and 3 cities on the planet, or 3 cities in the country: Chicago,
right.
New York, San Francisco. Public transport is terrible.
That's true.
So I was a military kid and also a military adult, so I moved and lived everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And Michigan is not the place that I wanted to move to.
Sure.
My parents moved me here when my dad retired from the military, and I married my wife here, who does not want to move from the state.
Gotcha.
Which is the biggest drawback, one of the biggest drawbacks to marrying my wife. Just
okay.
No.
She's not listening anyway. It's okay.
No, she knows. But I mean, Michigan itself is fine. I'm used to being in more tropical areas. I'm used to being in bigger cities. So there's a lot of things that I love and have expected. And I've been in this very small, white, conservative community for way too long.
Right. It's starting to get itchy.
Yeah.
One of us.
No, never.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do like the fact that I drive 15-20 minutes in any direction and I'm pretty much in wilderness. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's just mostly the community, which is changing. But
yeah,
we just had people lose their S because there was a drag brunch that was happening one city over, which is one of the big conservative cities or towns, because it's not even big enough to be a freaking city. And people were losing their crap over that. And we had another issue with the current town that I live in, where the gay community was, I'm not even sure what they were doing. They were hosting something at the Civic Center here, and a lot of the older generation was losing their ass over that. And it's
moving at Midwestern speed.
Yeah, I understand that we all have different opinions and we all value different things, but they're not hurting you. And it's
let people rent out the Civic
Center. Their right and ability that if that's how they, not necessarily how they want to be, but you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, they're not hurting anybody. All right.
Leave them alone. Yeah.
Yeah. They're not going to talk to you if you don't want to be talked to, just like they don't want to be talked to you, by you. So.
Right.
Just live and let live.
Yeah.
That's my biggest issue with this area.
What you're telling me is you live in a town full of okay boomers?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I said that as a joke at work one time, and everyone stared at me, and then I said it again and walked out.
Go ahead. Biggest downside for me, I mean, well, number one, I live in the grand state of New York.
Yes.
So, as a relatively blue state, full of pretty much everything like that you would imagine, it's probably kind of directly the opposite of you, Nimp. Where like even though I'm not in the city, because anytime I speak to anybody who's not from New York, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm in New York, and like, oh, did you get to go to Broadway much? It's like,
right,
no,
which borough? It's like, no,
New
not
York, the state, not New York.
It's a very big state.
Yes. The other than that, like having to explain that every 2 people I meet, the biggest thing for me here is the weather, because I get seasonal affective disorder at the best of times.
Yeah.
Living here, it literally can wipe me out from anywhere for like a week to 4 months, depending on how hard it's hitting that year.
Yeah.
I love having snow.
Like
whenever the news says lake effect, that just makes my day.
That's the stuff.
I love the winter. I love the cold. I love the snow. I just get really bad seasonal affective disorder sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's just like, come on, this is my favorite time of the year when everything is cold and quiet and everybody stays indoors and doesn't drive like an idiot.
No one bothers me.
Yeah, everyone leaves me alone and I love it. And then I just get so depressed.
Yeah.
It's just like, come on. And yeah, lake effect is an absolute nightmare here too. Thanks, Great Lakes.
Yeah. Yep. Mine are really easy.
You have to complain about the heat?
No, mine are really easy. In California, I like the food.
It got cold there today, Nimp. It got really cold and it rained.
He told me it got to 40 degrees last night.
I know.
It's terrible.
That was my high.
It's the end of the world. Yeah. Mine are really easy. I love the food, including a lot of the produce that's around here. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the thing I dislike are fires. I would like there to be a lot less of them, and I would like them to stop becoming more frequent. That would be really great.
Mm-hmm. See, that's the thing that because I was born in San Diego, California.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the thing that I miss about California is just the random food that you can find there. Like just within the last 15 years, I just started recently being able to buy Asian food stuff here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just miss having that variety of things where you could just walk down the street and there's 15 different restaurants from 15 different ethnicities.
And they're all good.
I mean, we just started getting a couple of years ago. If anyone lives in Michigan up in Grand Rapids, there's a lot of Mediterranean places that have started opening up around that area. I don't like a lot of Mediterranean food, I am finding out, but I enjoy going into those restaurants and trying the different foods. Yeah, just to see, what they have, the culture that they have.
Yeah.
You don't get a whole lot of that around here.
Yeah.
Unless you go out to Detroit. They're all over in Detroit, and it's great.
Yeah. All right, that's our episode this week. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. You can visit us at tvgp.tv. Everyone to find and follow us at the right-hand side of the page, including the merchandise link. Go buy that, just like the very fine We Know shirt that the Nimp is wearing right now. You can buy that on the store. Game Club is taking a break this month. Patreon.com/E1M1, the ones are numbers. Brand new episode of Old Dog New Flicks out right now. What else do we have? Game of the Year and predictions coming up in the next couple of weeks. This week is the last week you can vote. You as the community can vote. Check Twitter, check Discord. Plug in the hell out of those this week. We've gotten a lot of people voting on Game of the Year, which is great. If you haven't voted, go do that. Please remember Outer Wilds and Outer Worlds are different games. if you have misvoted. If you have misvoted, let me know. And please, we need way more people to fill out the predictions. Should only take like 5 minutes to do, and you'll make it on the show, and maybe next year you'll be voted most correctest. We have to wait a whole year to find out. But so go check Twitter, go check Discord for those. I think that's it. So we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
The delay on this is so bad. Curses.
Too bad.
It's real bad on my end. So editing is going to be fun.
Yep.
Hit me with your titles, Nimp.
All right. I have 2019 Year of Mountain Biking.
Mm-hmm.
Pro tip, tap to turn. So this is a Pokemon game. To see the evolution, I have my Pokeballs. Shut up, there's a ghost around. Baby Simulator. This is the thing with Kojima. Drunk Dealer. Sawsome. Tickle a BT. Can I Wonder Woman it? Fun and power effects happen. 10 kills, chickens come out.
That's right.
And the make you feel good match.
We've had so many titles of the show based on dumb stuff I say about Diablo. It's really great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Moon, how about you?
This is going to be really long, so sorry in advance.
Oh boy, okay, I'm running out of space here.
Okay, pick the Goldens. That wasn't a title. Obsessed with cosmetics. Do a little tappy tap. I'm crazy in a different way. The evolution of the game. On the path to platinum. Drunk baby simulator. I don't know. I don't know how it got on my computer. Step 3, be warm. Forest of 1,000 corpses. The problems start when a bridge appears. Nothing weird here. What if we don't build? And Game Pass when?
What if we don't build? Okay, I have a lot. The Year of Mountain Biking. My review, I don't know. The Forest of 1,000 Corpses, which is really good. I Live to Swear, which I totally forgot I wrote down. The problems start when a bridge appears. You can't dodge the fluffy stuff.
You can't.
That's right. That's just good to know in life. Tap to turn, shut up, there's a ghost around, tickle a BT, and what if we don't build?
Well, we can get rid of problem start when a bridge appears because it's great, but it's too long.
But it's so good.
It's so good, but it's totally too long. The show title for that, when you're looking at it in the podcast feed, will be The Problem Start.
I mean, it does take up 3 lines on my sheet here, so I guess I will cross it out.
Just make your title stream across.
Yeah, there you yeah.
That way they can
for
be
me,
as long as you want them to be.
I think my 3 leads are The Year of Mountain Biking, Forest of 1,000 Corpses, and Shut Up, There's a Ghost Around.
Shut up, there's a ghost around. What if we don't build? And tickle a BT.
Oh, damn.
Oh, man, there's so many. Forest of 1,000 Corpses is really good.
It's really good.
I was gonna say, because I like that one. I like Shut Up, There's Ghosts Around, and then I like Tickle a BT.
I think Shut Up, There's a Ghost Around is stronger than Tickle a BT.
Okay. But what if we don't build?
Stop complicating this.
It's never getting in there.
It's good.
A Forest of 1,000 has got to take it. I think it's the only one that's going to be on all 3 of our choices. Like, if we all looked at all of these titles, I think all 3 of us would have that one and one other one. Or 2
I think that's fair. And it sounds like an indie knockoff of a Rob Zombie horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the House of 1,000 Corpses. It's the Forest.
The Forest.
It's not trademark infringing.
No. Although my thing after the title might be.
There you go. Okay, let me know when you guys are ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 632 for December 2nd, 2019. The Forest of 1,000 Corpses.
Get on my snipula.
I planted all these seeds individually.
I hate you for snipula. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. If you made it to the end of this frame-dropping stream, thank you so much. Bye. And we can stop recording.